acting. Welcome back to the Gentleman's Sitdown. We are an untraditional podcast.
Trying to be traditional gentlemen.
I am Satirius D. Lemitius.
And I'm Joshua Callahan.
Links and descriptions down below for links. And there's a subscribe button, a like button, there's a share button, there's a bell that you can ding. You know, it's kind of the real subscribe button. That's true. And comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hack it.
Leave comments if you want.
Tap it.
So, actors acting.
Actors acting. It is an art form.
Yes. We like to think of ourselves as actors, and we tend to act because of it.
When we talked about this, I wanted to talk about this. I thought it'd be interesting to talk about different processes that actors use, but then it's also fun to talk about actors that we like and why do we like them. Not even thinking about like necessarily talking about my own take on acting. Like even now, when you say it out loud, it's like, oh, I don't really want to turn the mirror on me.
Yeah.
Talk about my process. Whenever you talk about an artistic process, it sounds like, cringy. Like you're talking about it sounds, pretentious. Well, what I like to do. But it's true. Everybody has a process. It depends on the art. It depends on the piece.
It does. Yeah.
It's fun to talk about.
Yeah, it's just interesting, like, what
moves you?
What lengths some actors are willing to go for their performance, Like a lot of Hollywood actors.
I go all the way.
Yeah, they do a lot of extreme stuff just for one role.
Think about Daniel Day-Lewis, Dustin Hoffman, those method actor things. But not even that. Like they go to extreme stuff to their body.
Yeah.
Christian Bale. Yeah, you're wearing that for the machinist. He almost died losing all that weight for the machinist.
Yeah, for this movie, American Psycho, apparently he had all his teeth capped. That means he got crowns. So he had his real teeth filed down and put crowns over them. So you have that perfect white tooth smile.
I believe he wanted to do that anyways, and he used it as an excuse.
Maybe.
I'm getting paid for this, and he got the studio to pay for it.
Yeah, a lot of actors.
Part of my role.
A lot of actors do that too, They just do it anyway, even for not
I think this character should have a 6-pack of abs. Get me a trainer and the best nutritionist chef that you could think of. And have Warner Brothers pay for it.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're doing that. Hey, save money, yeah? That's what we got to do.
I don't think they get the studio to pay for it. I think they're getting paid well enough to do it on their own.
Probably.
When you get to a certain level, I was going to say stratosphere of performance. But what intrigued me about acting is the idea of playing different people. I don't know, when I was growing up, yes, you wanted to emulate what you saw. But even in real life, like the idea of being a fighter pilot or doing this or being a doctor in this situation or living in a different time. And I would imagine what that would be like or what that was like. And I thought acting was a way to become all those things without being all those things. Or do you know what I'm saying? Trying to, I don't know, perform as if you were really that person and taking on a different persona.
Yeah, like I kind of view it like when I look at an actor, and I'm an actor. If I look at a character as an actor, and I'm breaking down, there's a lot of breaking down the character and like really digging deep into the psychology of the character and why they're making decisions, why they are who they are, why the story is happening and unfolding the way it's unfolding with the character, why the character speaks a certain way to some person and then speaks another way to another person. Why, like,
Yeah, I
why
get you.
one moment the character is goofy and the next moment the character is
What
stern, and
motivates
yeah.
them? What kind of moves them?
Yeah, like what brings, well,
That's
like,
true.
yeah, I try to
Yeah.
like bring them, like, I want to look at a character and I want to make them come to life, I want to bring them alive. I mean, obviously that's the job of the actor, but like I want to make them like,
Well, 'cause
give that realism.
yeah, that process, it's like trying to create the depth of a real person instead of just emulating or mocking or doing some like kind of carbon copy character where it's just face value. I'm using these words out my mouth to perform something. That's the difference between performance and I think acting is creating a depth. Like there's a life that lives beyond that moment, and you can believe that that is the person and not the actor. That is the character that you're watching in the story. I mean, that's fascinating. And then you got to put yourself in front of people when it's live theater. I think it's more because you got to maintain it in a raw, ah, in a kind of a raw situation. You know,
Yeah.
you're responding to things live that are happening that everybody else is responding to, not just the dialogue and the narrative in the story you're telling. You're right. So if you do it on film, you can contain it, you can go back and forth, and you can revisit it. You can,
Well, you do you
construct it more.
you do it like every shot you kind of want to do differently, because really every shot, kind of like when you do live theater, like every time you perform, every show
It's always
is
different.
different, a
Yeah.
little different, because every time is, everybody's,
Well,
acting is reacting, so you're reacting differently. Sometimes an actor will say a line even just a little bit differently, and that will change the whole dynamic of the scene sometimes, because then the actor that's reacting to the actor that said something a little different is now going to change the way they said it, because they're reacting to the new way you said a line.
in a film, though, you can also use the shots and the angles from which you tell a story as a way of telling the story. So it's different, like in a live theater than obviously different. The medium is different, everything else, but the way you tell the story is different. Like in live theater, it's like what side of the stage you on, how far back, how far forward, how far right up to them or far away from them. Right? You're doing the same thing relatively in movies too, but you can control what the audience sees, right? I don't know. It's,
It's funny.
actors know how to use that.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that too, because
It's hilarious.
yeah, but actors. So yeah, actors, their goals when they're on a film set, they want to change. They want to. Every
Get something new, something
every
fresh
shot,
each
yeah,
time.
every
Yeah.
shot, every take is always like there's subtle differences, because they want to keep the realism, dynamic, the dynamicism, you know. But you're talking about how the way a movie is shot. There's something that I really like that the director of American Psycho did, was all the scenes with Willem Dafoe,
Uh-huh.
when he was speaking to Patrick Bateman. She wanted him to do it in three different ways. So she wanted him to do it first. I think the first way was, for a fact that Patrick Bateman killed Paul Allen. Go. And then he would do like a shot or two, or whatever. He would do that first. They would shoot him. He knows, he's like, Patrick Bateman killed Paul Allen. And this is how I'm gonna speak to him. Then she said, okay, now I want you to do it as if that Patrick Bateman definitely didn't do it. Boom, go, act, and yeah, boom. And then after that, she said, do Patrick Bateman that he's one of your suspects, but you have no idea if he is or isn't.
Mm.
And then boom, boom, boom,
Did
boom.
you see all three?
And then you could tell, I watched the film a couple times. And
Willem Dafoe is a great actor.
you can tell
One of my
when Willem
favorites.
Dafoe, she then mixed and blended those shots so that the audience would be, and she she would shoot Bale too, and Bale would react to, he would react properly to how Willem Dafoe was interviewing him or interrogating him,
Mhm.
and then uh she mixed those shots together for those dialogues. So you could tell Like if you're looking for it, you can tell, oh, this is the shot when Willem Dafoe thinks he definitely did it. This is a shot where Willem Dafoe has no idea. This is a shot where Willem Dafoe just thinks he's not the guy, you know? And then you could tell when Bale's like responding, like, oh my God, like he knows I did it, to, okay, he doesn't really know I did it, to, he might not know, he might not think I'm the guy at all, you know? And you could tell when it's mixing and splicing. But when you first watch it, and I remember me first watching the film, I'm like, I can't tell. Like you as an audience member can't, like you're genuinely confused. Like, wait, does he know? Does he not know? And you're kind of
Well, that's the
confused.
whole
You're
point.
react, yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
she's playing
You're
up
reacting
the
to with Bale the way Bale's reacting, and then it's like yeah, that was the point. That's the point was, yeah, yes, she did that on purpose. She wanted to create she wanted the audience to
question. Yeah.
feel on edge, to not know the answer, to
Is it
not know
real?
what
Is it,
he's,
yeah.
yeah, exactly. Because at the end of the film,
Spoilers.
spoilers, but at the end of the film,
American
you
Psycho's been
you
out since.
yeah, since 2000, but so 22 years, 23 years actually. But what the fuck? But yeah, but at the end of the film, you sit there and you scratch your head, like, was that all in his head, or did it actually happen, or like what was real, what wasn't real?
Yeah. I mean, that's the way it's different. Like if you talk about actors and acting, it's like in film and in live theater, but predominantly in film, you have the director and the cinematographer have a little bit more control over telling the story, the way the character is viewed, right? So you talk about people who have a process like, whether it be Christian Bale, Willem Dafoe, but like Daniel Day-Lewis is always getting, he gets a lot of talk about how he approaches a character, like how he dives in. That's why he has, like, when he did Lincoln and everything,
Yeah.
he takes so long to do a movie because he immerses himself so much into the character,
Yeah,
so
no,
much method, like the language, the history, that he is that person
Yeah.
when he walks on set, and he has people talk to him a certain way, and his family even has to go along the way. So he thanked his wife for putting up with him because he has to be this person. And then it's hard to shake it.
Yeah.
A lot of actors say, oh, I couldn't shake this character. Like Margot Robbie was saying that about a movie she was just in. She
Like
took a long time to shake the character.
Like Gary Oldman, though. Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman is classic. He's
Oldman's
one of
like
my
a
favorite
chameleon
actors of all time.
He's like a chameleon actor. Not recently, like in his newer, like the last, like maybe I guess you can argue 8 to 10 years, he's cooled down. But like before that, he was a chameleon actor. Like every film, he looked very different in every film.
Yeah,
And he had always had like these strong different accents. And he actually his like, I don't know, his brain or his mouth or his vocal cords forgot his natural accent. So he had to go to vocal coaching to find his natural accent again.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, to the lengths which they go. We were talking about Christian Bale, who changed his body. There's always, there's a lot of actors that start with the body, the shape, and everything, and then there's people that start with the voice, and then there's people like obviously they're working for all of it. They're going to use all of it. For me, it's not that I'm not adventurous, nor do I. It's probably I don't have the resources, but I like to start with what I've been God given. I start here with me and work with like what I got in terms of, okay, what do I need to take away, hide away, what I have to use for the character in terms of my pitch, my tone, my build at the time that I'm doing it. So because I got to imagine myself as the person. So I start from within, where I think a lot of actors will start with exterior forces. They're thinking about a person in a visual, and they get themselves to turn into that. Like you talk about Gary Oldman being a chameleon actor.
Like what Colin Farrell did for the Penguin and the Batman. It like helps when you put the costume on.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, because they said like while he was putting the prosthetics on, he started to let the voice come out. They came out like easy. I think he said it came out easier for him to go into the voice because he already had the look. So it was like, he's like, what people do around there? Yeah. Doesn't matter to me.
I like Colin Farrell. We're talking about a lot of my favorite actors.
Yeah. And then and Robert Pattinson too. Robert Pattinson and Gary Oldman.
Not one of my favorite actors.
I like the I don't know. I like their style because Robert Pattinson is known more recently now to start with the voice of his characters. So he starts with the voice. He like finds the voice, and he's always like he starts experimenting early on, and he's looking for accents or tonal choices or stuff like that.
Mhm.
And goes with that, and then eventually, once he has that solid, he knows what the mindset of the character is, and then he works on everything else.
Back when I was in got to do Tom in Glass Menagerie, it was thrust. So there'd be moments that'd be right on the audience, like right in front of their face. So that meant I had a different level of getting into a character because you're right in front of them. And then part of the scenes you're in the middle of the stage and you're acting on the set. But the beginning of each act, I was right there in front of some people talking to them as if I was on a balcony, but they were like right in front of my face like that. So you can't hide much, right? So it you got to trust then the collaborative effort of it. Like you're talking about people who'd get into the costumes and stuff. And sometimes you have say in that. Sometimes you don't, and therefore you have to make that part of your decision making. I can't change this outfit. Why is this person wearing this out? What does it say? Is it just a way to make you think of a period that you're in? Or is it a way to make it think of, is it a uniform to make you think of the person you are at job or at work? Then you have to make excuses for, or make reasons for that. The reason why you're wearing that, right? So, it depends. It's fun. It's fun to try it on and do it. But it is an art form
There's
because,
different approaches,
yeah,
because every actor is
you have to
different.
think about where you're at and then who you're with, who you're working with too.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't always have the option of putting on a fat suit.
Well, yeah, but like, yeah,
And if you do, you don't always have an option of getting a good one.
yeah, that's true.
Or like you hear about Meryl Streep when she was in the movie about the violinist. She learned how to play the violin. And when she was in certain movies, she would learn the accent and go there and play. But she's someone that gets immerses herself in the role. Like if that's an award-winning violinist, she better look like she knows how to play the violin.
Yeah, at least, yeah. And that's, yeah. I mean, and that's, you can argue Meryl Streep's probably the best actor alive right now. She has the most Oscar awards. So.
But what I was talking about too is like, starting with yourself, you think about an actor like Tom Hanks. He's usually, and other actors, they're usually versions of themselves. But why are they so good at it? Because you believe them as that person. It's interesting. It's fascinating. Take a look at.
Yeah, it's different approaches. Like, Shia LaBeouf has a unique approach.
You just tell me about
Yeah, and as I watched this interview recently with John Bernthal, and they were like, I don't know, he was having a conversation because he was in a podcast.
Yeah.
And John Bernthal was just having a conversation about Fury, the movie Fury, and
Which I haven't seen all the way through, but I hear it's good.
It's good. I've seen it all the way through,
Yeah.
and he was explaining that at first when he was in the early beginnings when he was working with Shia LaBeouf, he thought that he was just loud, like loud with his method, because he went to like a dental surgeon and he told him to pull out one of his bottom teeth. So he pulled out one of his actual bottom teeth for the role. He cut his cheek up here for the role. He apparently, allegedly, I don't know how true this is, but he allegedly didn't shower for like 8 months.
I heard about this. I think that's probably what I heard about.
Yeah, and John Bernthal said that when he first saw all that, he was like, "Oh, this kid's just being loud about his method, trying to prove that he works hard and that he takes it seriously or whatever." But then John Bernthal was like, Shia LaBeouf, was a really talented actor, and John Bernthal said like as he worked with him, he realized like, wow, like this kid, yeah, you can argue his method's loud, but when you're really working with him and you're doing the scenes with him and you're the shooting starts, like this guy really is seriously taking this job like his like it's his purpose, like he's taking it super seriously.
Not to play devil's advocate, Yeah, like, you know, I'm not I told you this, like sometimes, so I'm not just reacting to this. Like I think about Shia LaBeouf and I think about in the moment you're just talking about where somebody's in a scene with somebody, and then they're reacting to like when they perform with them. Could you argue that if he didn't do all that, would he still have the good scenes? Would he still be, because if acting is reacting, you're reacting on what you're given in the scene. So if somebody has like the smell and the look and the things that they know that they did for that scene, right? Because they didn't shower, they have a missing tooth, and they're playing that up, maybe as but could you still get something from the person if they didn't have all those things? You know, then you think like for instance, Jim Carrey, Andy Kaufman in Man in the Moon. He was playing Andy Kaufman in the movie Man in the Moon. And he wanted the people who he's performing with to think that he was indeed Andy Kaufman, so would do the things that Andy Kaufman would do in real life when Andy Kaufman was on a movie set. So it was like meta, meta, meta. But could you get the same things? Could you from an actor? Like, you know, I don't know. It's debatable. You know, talk about Daniel Day-Lewis, who would immerse himself into his movies. Would you get the same from a scene if he didn't do all that? It's possible, right?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, these guys, they definitely have the talent. But
yeah, like I think it's a collab. I guess the point that I was making earlier was that it was like it's a collaboration. And then if your process is different from somebody else's process, are you all going to get to the same place? Like, you know, which is telling the story with the characters you have.
I think also, I feel like a lot of those actors do that because they really want the experience to feel real.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they know that if,
yeah.
Well, not just for the audience, obviously. Obviously, they're going to do that for the audience. That's every
But to be
actor's
believable.
goal.
Like,
But
why am I
like,
here?
But I think they want to do it. I think they want to feel real
person.
to their castmates as well. Like once the action starts, it's like they want to. I think they're trying to do that. They're trying to create a real setting, even to the castmates and the crew. You know, so I think that's why they go to those extreme lengths. Like we talked about Bateman, we talk about Christian Bale, we talked about Shia LaBeouf, but there's also like even Brad Pitt. Well, I don't remember which role he did it for, but there was a role where he went to a dentist and he had like them chip away at his teeth, like put chips in his teeth for the role.
I don't know. Fight Club or 13 Monkeys? I don't know.
Yeah, it's probably.
I like Brad Pitt though.
But he did that. Apparently, he did that on purpose. He went and had like his teeth chipped.
So he did. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did something from the Hollywood, the one, the Tarantino movie just came out too, and I forget what it was. When he was playing the stuntman, he did something for that too. I think.
I don't remember.
I don't remember the story either.
I know he got in shape for it. I mean, he
got in shape, but
Brad Pitt's already in shape.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt likes to stay in shape. That's his thing. But I think he trained a little more, like a little extra harder with the diet and the training to get get a more solid look for the camera. Yeah. And he probably did that dehydration trick that every actor does when they do the shirtless scenes. But Brad Pitt's always fit. Like he's always like he's always been like a healthy, fit, athletic kind of guy. So he probably didn't have to work that much harder. Like he didn't look different from what he normally looks anyway.
I know, but then people who watch their movies, like you say, the Tom Cruises, the Brad Pitts, look beautiful. They're always trying to ugly themselves up. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to play I'm this, I don't know, like the idea of taking your teeth out or doing something to your teeth, which is so like personal. But it's so visual. Like when you get a close up, it's extreme.
And it's not like your natural teeth are stronger than any
part of your body.
No, it's stronger than any replacement that you can get from a dental surgeon. Like your teeth, natural as they are the strongest they're gonna be. At least that's what I was told. So the fact that they make that sacrifice just to
it's crazy.
Yeah,
they have the money to reverse it and fix it though.
Well, they have the money to get the crowns and the caps and all that, but like still, like,
They're messing up the teeth.
yeah, they're messing up their teeth, and and you kind of it
I hope you got the
changes.
Oscar.
It changes when you get a crown. It's not, it's never the same.
Think we have good actors this day? Like the younger crowd coming in, like the Timothy
I think
Chalamet and
Timothy
stuff.
Chalamet is amazing. I think I
Pattinson.
think Zendaya is doing great.
Zendaya's doing fantastic. She's
You
doing great.
But she's kind of becoming. She's like a mix of like a mainstream actor, but she could also do the serious stuff.
She always
You
wants
know?
to try to be out of the box, from what I get. She's trying to think outside the box.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie is relatively new.
Margot Robbie's like. I feel like she's like a. I don't know. It's probably gonna sound weird, but like I feel like she's like the female version of Brad Pitt, as an
Is
actor.
that weird?
As an
Yeah, I know
actor,
what you're saying.
like the way her career is, like how her career is panning out, and like how she performs on camera. I feel like she's like the female version of Brad Pitt, and of this
I see what you're
of
saying.
this generation.
It starts with yeah. And I think they started. Well, I know she started in soap operas or TV show.
Right. Tom Holland too. He's good.
Yeah.
Tom Holland was in Lost City of Z. I think he did great in that movie.
Yeah.
And that's one of his more serious films that wasn't that popular, but for some reason, but I have it on DVD. I think it's a really good kind of period piece during a period that is never really like covered or filmed.
Yeah.
So and it's
I like
about a
Oscar
story that
Isaacs.
was like you don't see a lot of films tell these type of stories. So I found it very unique, and it kind of the ending I think could have been better, but it didn't end poorly. I don't think it ended poorly. I mean, what really happens in real life, it's kind of hard to film that, and so I could see why they didn't make that the ending, because it's
Which
a big
movie?
it's a big
Lost
question
City of
mark
Z?
anyway. Yeah, Lost City of Z. The endings, the real life ending is a little big question mark. They don't really know what happened, but they have a pretty strong theories of what actually did happen. Because the main character, and like I think his oldest son, one of his sons, I'm not gonna say which one, but I know one of his sons was with him, and
I see. I gotta check it out.
yeah, they disappeared in the rainforest in Brazil, and that was during a time when there was a lot of cannibals.
Oh, I get eaten.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I like it's telling when somebody plays a real person from real life, because do you go to a mocking? Do you go to impersonation? Or do you try to imbue a quality of them that they had, that they're remembered for? It depends on the actor, right? And it depends on the story you're telling of it. Like the guy who did Elvis, and the Elvis movie's getting a lot of acclaim from that.
What's his name? Austin?
I don't know.
Is it Austin?
I just saw him, and I think it is Austin. I just saw him in Silent Life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's good.
He's
good.
fresh. We should know his name.
He's really new though.
Tell us what his name is.
He's really new in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Before that, apparently he didn't do a lot of stuff before. Like he did like a lot of stuff, but he wasn't like in nothing like real big time.
You have to, but I mean, when you're playing a singer, you have to get that down. You have to be that person
Yeah.
in life and who they were as a performer on stage. So that's a game changer.
He did good. I watched Elvis. I liked it. He did good.
Tom Hanks was in that one too. I think
we covered it.
Yeah, actors on acting. Yeah, we're
actors
actors.
act.
We're talking about acting. I'm playing a character right now. Who is it? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, we'll probably do it. We'll
Tell
probably
me.
do other episodes of this kind of topic.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah, because there's a lot
We'll
to
do
talk
actresses on acting.
Yeah.
No, actors that's for everybody across the board.
about. Yeah, male, female, yeah. But yeah,
Non-binary, whatever.
I think we covered it.
Yeah, we covered it.
Yeah, if you enjoyed it, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe.
Dude, if you
all
didn't
that
enjoy it, leave a comment.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
I've been
Think about
Serious Dealer Mitch.
I've been Joshua Callahan.
We've been the Gentlemen Sit Down. We hope you have a great week. We'll catch you next week.
Have fun. Peace.
Peace.